Welcome to the channel, guys. Don't forget to comment and subscribe if you like what you're seeing here on your screen. Today we're going to talk about crank lengths. We're going to start off with Tade. We'll talk about Poggi, the winner of the Tour de France this year, and how he has gone down to 165 millimeter cranks, down from 172.5s or so. There's this huge trend lately of downsizing the length of your cranks to improve performance. Keeps your hips open, reduce knee problems, and the whole gauntlet of other things. You can become more aerodynamic. So many benefits to having shorter crank lengths. In my day, we were told that longer crank lengths are better. We had a guy like Miguel Indurain, who famously came out with 180 millimeter cranks, which were almost unobtainable for regular people. I was able to get 175 millimeter cranks from the 165s I had been racing on. Pretty successfully, I might add. And we'll get into why that was such a bad decision for me back in the day, but we didn't really know any better. We didn't have all the scientists and all these physical therapists and bike fitters and all the other stuff that they have nowadays. So first we're going to compare three riders. We're going to take Tade, we're going to take Jonas, and we're going to take myself. We were all basically about the same height. Back in my racing career, I was 176 centimeters. So I was the same height as Tade. And if you take a look at Jonas, he's 1.75, 175 millimeters. And we'll pull in Indurain here. He was 1.86, tall guy, 6'1". So for a guy this tall to climb as well as he did was absolutely crazy. So when you had this guy and you looked at his crank lengths and then went in the Tour 5 times in a row, everybody wanted to be like Miguel back in the day, in the early 90s. So now we take a look, and here's a little blurb AI generated talking about how Tade went from 172.5s down to 170s, and then finally resided at 165 millimeter crank length, which I believe was perfect for me back in the day. And then we take a look at Jonas. He's basically the same height. And he was seen early on this year testing as short as 150 millimeter cranks. These were said to be just a one-off from SRAM or whatever it was, unbranded cranks. So he finally came back up and decided to use 160 millimeter cranks for the Tour. So they're basically the same height, Tade and Jonas. 5 millimeter difference in crank length, which is kind of interesting, but overall height doesn't take into account the length of your limbs and your torso and your flexibility and all those other kind of things. I can say personally in my career, when I went from 165 millimeter cranks to 175 millimeter, I started having some knee issues and I couldn't pin it down. I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, why? When I start getting 200, once I got up to 200 miles a week in training, that I would start having some knee issues. And that really set me back a lot. I was really struggling. And there was one year that I almost quit racing until I have a physical therapist kind of helped me out. And my new job, my quads were getting so big that he was able to help me get rid of some of that imbalance through a lot of physical therapy with ankle weights and just a lot of stuff in the gym to try and even out my legs, so to speak, because he said it was pulling my patella, my kneecap, my patella off to the side and creating inflammation, which was in turn affecting my performance on the bike, which is probably partially to blame the new job, but I also believe I was running the longer cranks as well. And I'm trying to, it's hard to look back 30 years and go, okay, which happened first? But I do believe it was the crank length that started my knee issues. As soon as I changed cranks, probably later that year, I all of a sudden started having the issues. So this video is for you guys to really sit down and consider some of these other options. That when you buy a bike nowadays, if you get a 56 centimeter bike, it's going to come with 172.5 cranks, probably on almost all of them. You get down to like a 52 centimeter frame, they're probably going to put 170s on there. And they don't really make bikes, too many bikes with 165 millimeter cranks stock out of the box right now. I do believe moving forward with all of this stuff that's going on, they're going to have to start coming out with shorter cranks out of the box for some of these bikes. I think they overcrank nearly every bike on the market today. And I believe a lot of people would benefit from those shorter cranks, especially if you're someone that hasn't ridden your whole life and you don't have that flexibility. And yeah, I do believe a lot of people benefit from shorter cranks. And this video right here, this is a video from UK Bike Fit. And they talk about seeing Jonas out there on those 150 millimeter cranks early on in the season, testing them out. So go check these guys out. They have a lot of good content in there. So if you like what you see, don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And what else do you want to learn about bikes? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.